Hello guys, in this video I'll show you how to use the Asset Sanitizer plugin available in Marketplace for Unreal. So first of all, we're gonna check if the plugin is enabled, so go to plugins, we search for Asset Sanitizer, and you should have the checkbox enabled. If it's not, check it and restart the editor. After doing that, you shall now be able to go to Tools, scroll down, and see this asset sanitizer option. And when clicking it, a window like this should be open. If you have this window, we should be good to go. So now with the window open, we can now use the plugin by doing either a full scan or a quick scan. So let's do a full scan. The first time doing a scan for a project might take longer, but the following ones will be way faster. So I already did a full scan for this project, so it is pretty fast. So now, as you can see, I have all the assets that have issues in the project with their issue, their path, the asset name, the severity, and the action. You can both fix an issue manually, or you can use autofix all save that will fix every category except for the unused assets, since the asset registry can say that an asset is unused but is used with a soft pointer in a blueprint or C++. So yeah, you have to manually check for every unused asset and fix them depending of if you know you're using it or not. But before doing any fix, we'll check for the settings of the plugin so you can understand what each one of these do. First of all, we have the settings for the scanners. First one is the global enable disable that allows you to disable completely a scanner both for the full scan or quick scan. So if you, for example, disable the texture audit scanner, it won't work neither for the full scan and the quick scan. So if you do a, for example, I have a texture here, non-power of 2 texture, oversight texture. If I disable it globally, so I do a full scan, I no longer have the textures here because I disabled that scanner. And if I do a quick scan with the scanner enabled, it won't work because it's globally disabled. So quick scan, and I still don't have the textures here, as you see, just redirectors and invalid prefix. So when you disable a scanner, it's globally, as the name says. So no full scan, either quick scan will work. But if you have it enabled and you enable it in the quick scan, it will work both for the quick scan and the full scan. But if you disable it in the quick scan, it will only work for the full scan. So here it is, non-power of 2 oversized section. Next, we have the autofix respects active UI filters, and that means that if we only want to fix prefixes, which is set the category only to naming, and when we press autofix all save, if we have this setting enabled, the fix will only apply to the current filters. So in this case, the naming. If we select nothing, the autofix will fix 0 issues, of course. The next setting is the naming conventions one. This is a map with the key as the class name and the value as the prefix we want to use for that class. The plugin by default has 37 entries, so you don't have to add them every project you use the plugin because it will be pretty bad. So you have the most generic ones like blueprint, skeletal meshes, skeleton, render target, textures. So yeah, the default are there. So for example, I have this material with no, sorry, it's not a material, it's a texture. It's from substance, so it's material default. But yeah, it is a texture. We can see the path. So we go there to see it. As you can see, the names of the textures are pretty bad. So what the asset sanitizer tells me is, yeah, your textures should be be called with T underscore. So we can do a fix. And now that texture should have the name updated with the correct graphics. I'll do it manually to avoid, yeah, fixing everything right now. So, for example, I have made my C++ class with uh with a blueprint child. So, for example, I go to game mode with the game instance, and as you can see, the game instance has a parent C++ class, UTC game instance. So I want the UTC game instance to have a different prefix than the GI from game instance. So I'll do UTC game instance and add a UTC GI. It's a naming convention. So this will be the prefix. This is the name class. Since it is C++ class, you also can put a U from your object, but it's not necessary. The plugin would work. Fine. So we do a grid scan, and now I should have the 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 game instance here with an invalid prefix. It will say UDCGI, so I can fix that. Fix, and now the game instance has a new prefix because it's the one I wanted. Another thing you can do is having an actor, like VP weapon, and have a child of that class. So we child blueprint and we have I don't know, pistol. And as we can see, parent of this class, it's BP underscore weapon. So we can go to the asset sanitizer, go to settings, add a new entry, put BP weapon as the class name. We want that prefix to change, and we put BPW or BP weapon underscore. So now if I do a full scan, I should see the BP pistol, sorry, with the wrong prefix because it is a BP weapon. It's a child of BP weapon, I'm sorry. So yeah, so BP pistol should have the BP weapon prefix. So we, sorry, it was here. BP pistol, we fix it, and now its name is now BP weapon. Well, BP pistol because I had a prefix before. I can just change that like this. There we go. And the prefix is still correct because the prefix for the plugin is BP weapon underscore, not BP weapon underscore BP. So yes, having a C++ class or blueprint class doesn't matter. It works for both. Next, we have the texture audit that allows you to set a maximum texture size in pixels. So for example, I have the female lower body OC that I know is 4K. So female lower body OC Here it is oversized texture. So now if I fix Unreal with, well, not Unreal, the plugin will set the maximum texture size to 2048. So it's compiling with the settings of my project. So maybe you want 4K, so you can change this to 1496, I think it is. And we do a full scan. I don't no longer have oversized textures because all of them are 4K or less. And it of course depends of your project, the game you are doing. Maybe for mobile you want only for 1K textures. So we scan again and we will have a lot of oversized textures because I think I have only a few with less than 1K size. So yeah, you can put any number you want here and you can force the texture to be less than that size. Next, we have the unused assets. This is the most important one because maps and primary data assets are not present in the asset registry. So for example, if I uncheck both these, the maps and primary data assets, so for example, if I have this level open and it marks it as unused. And also we have the quarantine path, that is the path where all the unused assets you fix will go. So for example, I have this L level that I created to show you here. So if I fix it, well, I can't because I have it open, but I open another level and I fix this. I press OK, and the level now it's not here and it's in content quarantine here. So the assets you mark as unused and you fix them won't be deleted. So if you do something you didn't want to do, like moving an asset that's being used, you can just move it again to your folder and not destroy it. And the last thing which we can configure for the plugin is the project health calibration. This is just a display so you feel good when you fix issues in the plugin. First, we have the weight of the issues for each severity. So what this does is grant you penalty points for each of those you have. For example, if I have a warning, I have 1 point. If I have 2 warnings, I have 2 points. If I have an error, I add 3 points. So the more points you have is the worse for your project health. So in this example, I have 120 issues. All the info issues right now give you 0 points, so they don't affect the the health of the project. But I have a lot of warnings, so each warning gives you 1 point. And with those points, you can set the penalty limit for each one of the health status. So for example, having less than 5 points give you a good health penalty. Having a score between 5 and 19 gives you a fair penalty. I have fair health, sorry. Having more than 20 and less than 50 or 49, I don't remember. It's poor health, and if you have more than 50, you will be marked as critical. So like this, because I have more than 50 penalty points. So for example, if I change this to, I don't know how much points I have, so I'll say 1000. So if I see now, well, I have less than what? Less than 500. So I have less than 500 points. I have, yeah, 520 minus 197. I don't want to do the math. I have less than 500 points, so now the project held is fair.